Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Tanya and I own a small bath and body business called Bella Luna Soapery. It is named after my golden doodle Luna, who you just saw there hanging out with on the couch with me. We're having kind of a slow morning, just having our coffee. This is a typical weekend. Getting the diffuser going to get the house smelling nice, and then I needed to get some calendula infusing for an orange and calendula soap that I need to get made this week. So I wanted to go ahead and get that started today as well, which is super easy. You just pop it in the crock pot on low with your oil of choice. I was using olive oil, and then just add in the calendula, and I just let that simmer on low 3 or 4 hours, and then I go ahead and turn the crock pot off and let it cool completely, strain it, and then it's ready to go for my soap. But yes, after we got all of that done this morning, we're gonna jump right into our soap of the day, which is a rosemary and mint soap. So today we're doing a remake of my rosemary and mint soap. I keep this as part of my core line. It's a really great soap. It has coconut milk in it, it has French green clay in it, and then 3 different essential oils. So rosemary, of course, and then the 2 mints are peppermint and spearmint. So it's a really great bar soap, very cleansing, great for your skin. And it's one of my most popular soaps, so I do try to have it on hand all the time. Now the scent itself, it's definitely herbaceous, but the mint kind of adds that lighter note to it, so they kind of balance each other out. Alright, so I have all of my oils melted down here, and the recipe I use is down below in the description box. We have our lye water off to the side here, which I have sodium lactate in it, as well as I did dissolve some sugar in it. Our essential oil blend, which I already told you about earlier. And then we have our French green clay and our coconut milk just dissolved in some of our batch oils. Alright, so now I'm just going to get my safety glasses on and we will get started. Now you can see my oils look a little dark today. That's because I'm currently using an extra virgin olive oil in it, so it has a little bit of a green tint. They were out of just regular olive oil the last time I ordered it from Sam's, but no big deal there. So we're gonna go ahead and pour our lye water in. That's pretty much at room temperature right now. I soap anywhere from room temperature up to 120 degrees. I'm not really too particular about the temperature. Alright, so we're going to give this a quick blend. And before we get much further with the blending, we're going to go ahead and add in our essential oil blend. Now rosemary would typically thicken this up pretty quickly, but the peppermint helps to slow it back down, the peppermint and the spearmint, so it doesn't end up moving too fast on you. At least not typically. And I personally love how herby and earthy that rosemary smells. I know it's a little strong for some people, but I just love it. And it has a lot of great benefits for both your skin and if you wanted to add it to like a shampoo bar for your hair as well. Not saying that that will happen in soap, but if you look up rosemary benefits on the internet for your skin, it'll give you a whole list of supposed benefits. Right, I think that looks good there. So now we're going to split some of this off. So this is our coconut milk, like I said, with just some of our batch oils. And this is going to be our accent color. And then the majority of the soap is going to be green. So I have the French green clay in there. And I find typically it's easier if I just add some of the batch oils into the smaller container first before I add it to the main batch. That tends to help it get distributed a little bit better and get more out of the container. I need to get me some new spatulas. All of the ones I have I got at like Dollar Tree, which is fine, but they're 2 pieces, so you got to be really diligent after you make a soap that you take them apart and you get both pieces clean, and just it's a little more work than is probably necessary. And I think it probably just, you know, sanitation wise would be easier to have it all be 1 piece. Alright, so that looks good there. We'll get our big bucket back, pour this in, and then have any of you ever used like the gardening sleeves that are supposed to protect your arms for like soap making? I'm really bad about not wearing long sleeves when I make soap, as I'm sure I've demonstrated before, which I don't recommend. It's not something I should do. So I want to get better about that. But I don't like having a jacket on when I make soap because I feel like it can fall into whatever I'm making. And I just, you know, don't think that's the cleanest way to go about it. Plus you can ruin your clothes. So I was thinking about getting some of those gardening sleeves, which I'm assuming they're the same as, you know, I think there's some made specifically for people that soap, but I can't imagine it's any different than the gardening sleeves. So if you've used those and have had a good experience, leave me a comment and let me know where you got them and how you like them. And yeah, I want to try to get better about that. So as you can see, it's kind of a khaki green now, which is super nice. I'm going to set that off to the side. Wipe up where I, of course, drop stuff, because that's what I do. Then we're going to stir in our coconut milk. I'll give this a blend again as well, but I just like to get it started by hand. With the small amount that's in here, you can't blend it too much or it'll get super thick on you. So yeah, definitely want to try out those sleeves. Something else I've done for my business recently, I won't be using it today, but I bought myself a new mold off of Amazon that I'm going to try out. It's a tall and skinny again, but it's wider than that one I have from Nurture Soap. Plus it holds more soap. So I think that'll be nice. Don't want to blend any more than that. Sorry if that was loud. I probably shouldn't have talked while I was tapping that. Right, and then we're going to give this a quick blend. So then for this soap, I do an in the pot swirl. So we're just going to take our coconut milk, give that one more good stir there. And then I usually pour it in like a clock face, so 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 9 o'clock. And then we're going to just help the swirl out just a little bit like that. And get it into our mold. So this is a pretty simple soap as far as making it and the colors and designs, but it's a really luxurious bar because of the coconut milk and the French green clay and the different oils and butters that I use. So just remember, soap can be simple to make and still be a really nice bar of soap. And I think a lot of people appreciate a more simple design in their soap. And any leftover I tend to have, I just put in little molds for samples. All right, then we're gonna get what little bit of the coconut milk is left out to add to the top. And I tend to fill this up really far, so I can't always, it came with a lid, but I can't always get the lid on. So what I usually do is just set a cardboard box right here, because that keeps it up off the soap. All right, so then we're just gonna give it a little bit of a swirl. And since I use the clays and the coconut milk, I generally do like it to gel, so that is another reason I put the box on top. Plus, clays can sometimes ash with my recipe. I think they do with most to a certain extent, but they do definitely with the recipe I use, so that's another reason I like to keep it covered. And then, hold please. Just give it a little spritz with some isopropyl alcohol. That's also to help kind of keep the ash away. And then we're gonna lightly sprinkle a little peppermint tea on it. That'll come off during the first wash typically, but it does add a nice little design element, a little more interest, without being too overpowering. All right, and I think that looks just peachy there. So I'm gonna be done with this one. We're gonna put the box over it, let it set up for 18 to 24 hours, and then we'll come back and cut. All right, so we are back to cut my rosemary and mint soap. As I said, this is one I try to keep in stock at all times. It's pretty popular. And the scent's great. It's really nice and strong with the rosemary, and then you get that little kind of touch of mint to add a little sweetness and freshness and balance out the herbiness of the rosemary. And I think the mint on top just adds a little extra interest. And you get, you know, just a real light swirl with that coconut milk. That way it's just not a solid color bar. I like that little bit of an accent to it. And rosemary is great for your skin. Of course, you know, we can't make claims, as I've mentioned before. But if you look rosemary up on the interwebs, you'll see some of the great benefits that it has. And I personally just love the aroma of it. I think it's really nice. So you'll probably notice this video is going up a day later than I usually like them to. But me and Luna had a rough night last night. We went on our walk and she got attacked by another dog. The people had let it out and it was not, you know, in a fenced in yard, and it decided to attack Luna. So it's kind of a traumatizing experience. She is okay, but she did have to get her side shaved and get some stitches and get a drain put in that has to stay in for like 3 or 4 days. So fortunately, we have a pet urgent care that just went in like a mile from our house. So since it was after hours, I took her there, and they were able to see her right away. She would have been, I guess I can't say she would have been fine, but it wasn't something that at that point was life-threatening. But after I got her washed off and saw the size of some of the puncture wounds, I just felt better about having her looked at. Plus they gave her an antibiotic, so to help with any sort of infection. And the dog's owner was of course apologetic, but you know, you have to be responsible when you have dogs, and you can't leave them out when they're not secured and expect there not to be issues. So yeah, I have spray, but what had happened is I saw there was a dog out and it didn't look like it was on a leash, so we started to back away, and then it rushed us while I was looking down and starting to get Luna to back up. I mean, we were still a good 2 houses away, and it just, when I was looking down, it charged and it got a hold of her before I could spray, and then I was afraid of hitting her, which maybe it would have been better if I hit her with pepper spray than getting bit. I don't know. So I just screamed a lot, and I think this is one of the best swirls. I just screamed a lot and, you know, just kept trying to kick the dog, which probably wasn't the best choice, but that's what I had to work with. And eventually the owner came outside and hollered for it, and then it ran right back to her, but you know, the damage was kind of already done at that point. So I tried to be prepared with the spray, but I wasn't super successful, I guess. But if any of you have ever had any situations like that, or know something that's easy to use when you're in that kind of situation, definitely leave me a comment down below. Like I said, it was kind of a traumatizing experience for both of us. I have some pretty substantial scratches on my leg, and I have no idea if they were from Luna or from the other dog, but I mean, they're just scratches. She got the brunt of it. So definitely something that's easy to use in that kind of situation. If you have a suggestion, leave it down below for me. But that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you for hanging out with me and watching as I did a remake of this Rosemary and Mint soap. I do have a really fun soap that will be coming up for my next video. It's going to be a pink quartz soap, and we're going to put little pink quartz stones on top, so it's going to be really pretty. So definitely come back for that video. Take care, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye!